Hello, good afternoon from Singapore, everyone. Thank you for coming. So if you're here for the first time, welcome to Frequency Network by Healy World. For those who have been back again and again and again, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you. Yeah, so I'm really inspired by your commitment to attend our sessions week after week to learn. And today we are going to learn something new and interesting that most people do not know of, all right? Okay, so this particular roadmap here is from the previous session. So for those of you who missed the previous session, you may actually take a screenshot of this so that you can then use it to refer. Okay, so we talk about the progression of disease, which actually started from a negative thought all the way until it becomes a physical symptom. And because there are hundreds, 200 over programs and so many modules in the Healy Red and the Blue app, okay, so some of us are a bit lost, as to how to use and when to use all the Healy programs, okay? So what I've done here is to put, okay, all these programs respectively to all the different stages over here, all right? So that when you know that you want to harmonize different stages, then you would know which program to use. Okay, so I hope this is actually helpful to you. Now, if you have any questions, you may actually put them in the chat. Okay, I will answer your questions at the end. Okay, at the end of the session, and we'll see how much time permits. All right, let's begin. Okay, so this platform here is provided by Healy World, and for various teachers, Petra and myself, we alternate every Thursday to share with you what we know about the use of Healy and McHealy. All right, so this is a platform for education and sharing. Now, the Healy and McHealy device, they are not medical devices, okay? So therefore, they are not intended to cure, to treat, to mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease. So should you suspect having any medical condition, so please visit the doctor, go and look for a professional to get yourself properly diagnosed and get the proper treatment. So in Healy here, we are using Healy, okay, the microcurrent and the frequencies to harmonize our biofield, okay? Yeah, so what we do here is to complement, okay, your treatment that you are getting. If you are a healthy person, we want to maintain that by harmonizing the bioenergetic and the information field. Okay, so the intention of this session here for me is to share my experience in how I use Healy and McHealy. So different people, they will use it very differently sometimes. Okay, so there are more than one way to use the Healy device. So as you learn and hear from different teachers, so adapt the different practices to get the best optimal outcome for yourself. Okay, yeah, so whatever that you hear, whether in this platform or in other platform, always apply discretion. Okay, don't believe everything you hear or everything that is shared. And then you have to think. And also you have to monitor your body because each of us are different. Okay, so certain programs or certain approach are suitable for certain people, but sometimes it may not be suitable for you. So you need to understand your body enough to actually do the adjustment accordingly. All right, so there is no promise here. So because the results vary from person to person, so therefore we have to adjust according to our respective body. Okay, so for those who are here from the first time and we do not know each other, I'll just share very briefly about my background. I'm Christi Wong from Singapore. So since 2017, I was a certified bioenergetic profiling life coach. So I started with using a device big device. In the past, every device for bioresonance is big and huge. It's not the time waver. I use the live system for my therapy work. Yeah. So since 2 years ago, I have switched completely to using the Healy and the McHealy for the profiling. Okay, because I have compared the analysis report of Healy and that of the bigger machine for over 500 people, and I find that the Healy device, the reports are very accurate. Okay, so what I needed to do is actually to learn how to interpret the reports. So I've done the comparison and I have developed my own approach to look at the reports and know what the reports are trying to tell me, okay, in order to find out what are the root causes for a person's health, okay, in terms of their physical body, their emotions, and even their life as a whole. All right, so I also use the Healy device, okay, to use it as a form of support so that my clients actually get the necessary support by harmonizing their energy. So a lot is actually energy work. Yeah. So I'm also certified in professional counseling, okay, as a teacher in school. So that is where I started talking to people and understanding people. Okay. So I'm trained in the Chinese meridian system. Okay. And I was an A-level biology teacher since 1997, still teaching. Okay. At the same time, I'm also involved in the wellness education, like what I'm doing here. So I've done it for more than 10 years. Okay, so having used the Healy devices for so many years and having many other users whom I'm supporting, I compiled 5 books here over the years. It's not easy. It took a long time. Okay, so these actually are the support, okay, because after they have purchased and got their own devices, so these are the books that have handheld them, okay, over the years to let them learn how to use the Healy device, okay? So if you want more free resources on how to use the Healy devices. So I answered questions that have been posed by those who watch my YouTube channel. So you can go and check it out later on. Okay, so today our topic is very interesting. Yeah, so we are talking about invisible killers. Okay, agents or factors that are affecting our health, okay, and yet we do not know about it. That's the scary thing, all right? So we are talking about environmental factors, or today I call them the environmental stressors, okay? Stress factors that we encounter every day without knowing it. Okay, so we are talking about how then to use Healy and McHealy to protect ourselves against it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about frequencies that are good. So from the environment, I'm talking about global environment. Okay, we're talking about the earth, the universe. So these are natural frequencies that we are exposed to every day. So there are good and bad ones. Okay, so I will start by talking about the good one, okay, which is the earth electromagnetic field. So the program that I'll cover later on is McHealy Classic. Then the next natural one are the planetary systems, okay? The solar system and the 9 planets that revolve around the sun, okay? So we know that we are affected by the sun. We are affected by the moon because if you look at the waves, okay? Yeah, so we are exposed to all the pulling forces. Yeah, so there are other planets as well, which is near to the Earth as a planet. So they also revolve around the sun. So they also have an influence on Earth. So there are positive influence. There are also negative influences. So today I'm talking about the negative influences of planets on our body and therefore our health. Okay, so the programs that we will talk about for planetary system will be the Healy bioenergetic defense. Okay, then we come to man-made environmental stresses, which is the 5G, the Wi-Fi, the electromagnetic frequencies that most of us already know is harmful to our health. All right, so for this, I'm going to talk about the bioenergetic defense module and the obsidian energy cycle. And the last one that we're going to cover today is the geological faults. So we are talking about frequencies, harmful vibrations that is actually coming from the center of the earth. Okay, so as they come upwards towards the surface where we are found, where we live, okay, so there are disturbances that will cause these frequencies to then becomes harmful to us. Okay, and many of these we are not aware of. Okay, yeah, and for this we will also be talking about the Healy, the bioenergetic defense module. Okay, yeah. So let's get started. Okay, now, when a person is sick, usually we will look at what is happening inside the body. Okay, if the liver or the heart or the brain, etc., we always look inside and see, oh, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. Okay, then we go and get help from professional doctors, either in the form of medication, surgery, treatment, etc., etc. Okay, then what happens is we will come back. So we will be good for a while. And then after that, we find that, hey, something is wrong again. And then after that, we go and seek help. Now, you may have heard of people who have had cancer, and after going through chemo and radiotherapy, and then within the next few years, there is a relapse. And sometimes the relapse happens again and again, again and again. Now, why is it that certain treatments are effective for some people, but for certain people, it's not effective? Okay, so what we are looking at today is there a possibility that it is not the body here that is wrong? Could it be that the environment is wrong? Okay, for example, if you look at a fish, if you put many fishes into an aquarium, you will find that what happens is if you don't take care of the aquarium, and then the feces, the food, leftovers that are breaking down and all that will cause the water to turn dirty, and then algae will start to grow, and then toxins will accumulate in this closed system. So what happens is, okay, the fish is sick. So you take it out, you put it in a fresh environment, and then after that, you give it the necessary medication and all that, you treat it as well. And then after that, what happens is you take this fish and then you put it back into the environment again. Okay, and what happens is the environment is still the same. The environment is still toxic, and therefore it is causing the fish or the organisms to fall sick again. So this is what happened is that if we are not aware of harmful environment factors that is affecting our health, we could be doing this, get treatment, get therapy, and then we come back to the same environment that causes us to be sick again. So it goes round and round and round and round in a vicious cycle. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about the good environment. Okay, we have seen this. We have all seen a spectacular lightning, a deafening thunder and lightning on a heavy rainy day. Okay, so we are impressed by the sound and the sight of that light, correct or not? So is this good or bad? This is actually good. Okay, so lightning is good. How is it good? Now, every lightning strike, each time they strike and produce lots and lots of voltage of electricity, it generates a broad spectrum of electromagnetic waves. Okay, and this magnetic waves here is the one that sustain the global electromagnetic field. It's actually good. And in 1952, a German physicist by the name of Winfried Otto Schumann, he discovered that during lightning strikes like this, there are extremely low frequencies that are being emitted. Okay, so he measured them. This is not the only ones. There's a list of them. So 7.83, 14.3 hertz, 20.8, 33.8. These are the extremely low frequencies that he picked up. And he called this the Schumann resonance. Okay, so from 3 hertz to 3 kilohertz, this range here that is picked up by Schumann during during the lightning strike like this, he calls them the Schumann extremely low frequencies. Okay, now of these frequencies in that range, there was one that they found to be particularly important, and that is the 7.83 hertz. Okay, you may have heard of this. The 7.83 hertz is very important, and they found it regularly pulsating in the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, now it is so regular that scientists have come to term this particular frequency as the Earth pulse, P-U-L-S-E, or heartbeat. Okay, so the Earth magnetic field seems to have this 7.83 that is very, very prominent. Okay, so this is known as the Schumann resonance. Now, if you look at the entire Earth atmosphere, okay, so there are many, many layers with different names. So the lightning strikes and all that will reach all the way to 350 kilometers from the center of the Earth, okay? So all the way until the ionosphere, okay? So beyond the ionosphere, they found that there is no more. So there is no extremely low frequencies like this, okay, beyond the ionosphere, okay? So within this range from the Earth's atmosphere all the way 350 km, they found that in this atmosphere, lightning can take place and there is the extremely low frequencies available present. Okay, now what got people interested in these frequencies is that when astronauts travel to the moon or to outer space, when they returned, they found that something went wrong with the physiology or the health of the astronauts. So that got people interested to study these Schumann resonances, okay? Because is there really an impact? Is it really important, this Schumann resonance, such that when you go out of the ionosphere for a period of time, the human health will be affected? Okay, so that was the beginning of a lot of research done on the Schumann resonance. Okay, now what happens currently is there are artificial EMF that human has created that is causing disturbances to this natural ELF, extremely low frequencies. That means the Schumann resonance. Okay, although we are living within this space, what happens is the artificial EMF from our devices, from satellites and all those that we have created has now interfere with the Schumann resonance such that we are not getting enough of it. So what is the impact on us? Okay, so that is what we want to see. So what happens is that Experiments have been conducted since 1981. The first one that they did was this, okay? So they created a box like this, okay? So this is called the Berlin magnetically shielded room. Okay, so this experiment was actually conducted in Germany, Berlin. So what they did is they create an artificial space, okay? The box is 2.5 meters cube in a cube, all right? And the wall is having 8 layers of materials to actually block off all the Schumann resonance or the extremely low frequencies, the ELF. Okay, and what they do is they put in different organisms. Okay, they put in bacteria, they put in fungus, they put in human into this box for a period of time, and after that to see what happens to them. Okay, so later on there are other experiments that replicated what they have done over here. Okay, now what they have found is when the 7.83 hertz is absent beyond the ionosphere, astronauts who travel over outer space or to the moon, they have health issues upon return to the Earth. Okay, so you can go and read the details in this particular article here. Okay, now some of the issues or problems that they face may include headache, okay, sleep disturbance upon their return because they found there is an imbalance in the melatonin, serotonin in the brain. There will also be emotional disturbances, all right? Now, in the other cases that they found in other experiments, they found that a lack of 7.83, the Schumann resonance, can lead to other issues, heart issues, and even cancer. Okay, then they also found, very interestingly, that the hippocampus in the brain, this yellow structure over here, which is in the inner brain, has a resonant frequency of 7.83. And the hippocampus is involved or in charge of emotional memory. For example, trauma, okay, depression, okay, all that. Okay, now, yeah, so a lack of 7.83 will actually lead to chronic depressions, mood swing, emotional instability, chaos. Okay, yeah, so this is what they found, that the 7.83 is actually very important for human survival. So what they did is, for the astronauts to go into the outer space, they actually invented a Schumann resonance transmitter. So the astronauts will carry with them so that the transmitter will be transmitting the 7.83 hertz while they are out of the ionosphere, all right? So that they get a continuous supply of the 7.83, all right? So you can read the article to find out more. Okay, so what does this mean for us is that the 7.83, in terms of humans have to actually synchronize with the Earth in terms of all the natural cycles, okay? So the electrical organs in the body will be very much affected when we do not get to synchronize with the environment. Okay, so the ELF, the Schumann resonance, is important for our brain cognitive function, okay, because they find that the very low, the extremely low frequencies fall in this range, which is the theta brain waves. Okay, so to receive that is for the brain to receive the theta waves from the environment, and this actually helps in our learning, our creativity. Okay, now our sleep-wake circadian rhythm is also synchronized with the natural environment through the Schumann resonance, our heartbeat rhythm as well. So what happens is when we lack the 7.83, our heartbeat rhythm will also becomes out of sync, chaotic. So we will start to have heart rate problems, okay? Our pulses and all that becomes chaotic. Our blood pressure also will become out of order, okay? Mental, emotional imbalance, okay? From very mild to very extreme, where people can be chronically depressed for no apparent reason. Yeah. So it's important for our mental, emotional health. Also, for other homeostatic physiological cycles, our hormonal balance, our temperature, our body fluids, our salt, all this. So for our internal environment. Okay, so we need the Schumann resonance for all this. Okay, so now what happens now is we are not getting enough of this because of all the interference from the human devices, okay? Yeah. So to compensate, that means to put it back in, we can use this under the McHealy Classic program. There is the Earth program over here. So if you have used the Earth program before, this is what you will see. All right, so you will see this Earth program, there is a 7.8 here. So if you run the program, so you will keep seeing the 7.83. All right, so you can actually receive the 7.83 if you have any of those issues that I mentioned just now. So it could be your heart, your blood pressure, your brain function, your memory. It could be your emotional health. If you find that you are constantly having mood swing, depressive feelings, okay, if you're having issues with your sleep and all that, okay, other than using all the sleep programs, you may actually want to try this, okay, using the Earth program instead. Okay, so to add on one more. Okay, now the next one, which is good for us, is actually spherics. Okay, so for spherics, it is slightly higher. Just now, the ELF, it extremely low frequencies is 3 hertz to 3 kilohertz. This is spherics, which is the next range, is from 10 to 15 kilohertz. So this particular frequency range is good also for sleep, for our circadian rhythm, to reduce our stress, to help us to relax, to feel calm, helps us in our brain to focus, be alert. So this is more of the beta gamma, okay, the higher range, help us in our mood. It is also anti-inflammation and is also for pain relief. Now, currently, our pain management is to use this. Yeah, so if it's a nerve pain from nerve damage and dysfunction, we actually use GABA, GABA, and then we use antidepressants to actually suppress, okay, the nervous activity so as to reduce the pain. Now, for chronic pain, we actually use NSAIDs or even opioids, okay, to numb and to reduce the pain and the inflammation. Okay, so now what happens is there is another way that has been used. Okay, so this article is 2015. It's published in 2015 that a new way of managing pain is to use the 10 kilohertz. 10 kilohertz, all right? So they use 10 kilohertz high frequencies to stimulate the spinal cord. SCS is spinal cord stimulation therapy. So for people who have chronic pain, severe pain, this is the method that they are currently using. So this is a clinical summary, meaning that they have already used it, practiced it. So they have done the research on actual human subjects, and then they wrote this article, all right? So you can actually read it if you want to. So they find that the pain relief is actually quite long-lasting. Okay, now the other one, which is published quite recently in 2020, is also another one over here using 10 kilohertz for spinal cord stimulation. So they compare it with the past and now. And they have also used subjects that have used the traditional low frequencies who are not successful in their pain management, and then they use the new method. Okay, so the old method of managing pain, which you can also see in Healy under local stimulation. Okay, Healy under local stimulation, if you have used chronic pain or if you have used the back pain, the spine, you will see 40 hertz. Sometimes you will see 0.5 hertz and all that. So these are actually under the old method, which is low frequencies. So from 0.5 to 150 hertz, this is very common for microcurrent stimulation, which is what we are also use in our local stimulation in Healy. There are also vibrational frequencies, which they use 50 to 60, or solfeggio frequencies. Okay, so the past method compared with the new method using 10 kilohertz. So they did a 24 months, 2 years analysis. They compare these two methods on 85 subjects for the new method, 10 kilohertz stimulation, and 71 using the low frequency 50 to 60 hertz. All right, okay. So they found that those with back pain, leg pain, a higher percentage of this 85 subjects actually see significant improvement compared to only half of the old method. All right, so this is the comparison. So where can we find our 10 kilohertz? So we are back to McHealy Classic again. Spherics. Do you see spherics here? All right. So this is this one, the entire 30-minute program. You are only given one frequency, which is the 10 kilohertz. So this one here, you just need to turn on the McHealy and then place it on your belly, the navel, and then just run the 10 kilohertz for 30 minutes. Okay, so if you are struggling with pain, and if you have used the local stimulation and the pain has not subsided for you, I would suggest that you can actually try this. Okay, under spherics, use this particular program to see if your pain relief improve. Now, if you have other issues like sleep, okay, your brain or your ability to relax and all that. If you have used all the sleep programs and you're still not having a satisfying good sleep, you may want to try this as well. Okay, try the earth, use the earth as well as the spherics, and then see what happens to your body and how it responds from there. All right. Okay, so that is the good ones. So now come to the bad one. Yeah, the bad one, for example, if you use all Healy to do the resonance analysis, you will get your top 5. If among your top 5, it appear bioenergetic defense, and you go to the bioenergetic defense and you do the secondary analysis, and if planets appear in one of the top 5 here, it means that you actually do get influenced by the planetary system. All right. So this one that you see over here under planets, this is quite a recent one. Okay. So one of my clients actually have 80% for planets, which is very, very high. Usually, if you see the secondary analysis, 60%, it is considered high. 60% means you would have symptoms already. All right. So this is 80%. That means the biofield of that person is highly disturbed by the planetary movement. Okay. Now, okay, so as long as you see if it's 57, 58 and all that, I would count it as the biofield of that person is being disturbed by the planetary movement. Okay, so these are the planets in terms of the distance from planet Earth. The moon is not shown here. So the Earth and ourselves as organisms that live in planet Earth, we are affected by the nearby planets. Okay, yeah. So you will find that I don't mention Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto because they are smaller and they are further away. Okay, now, as I was looking for information and confirmation, I find that there is large variation of information from different sources. Okay, they will say, one source will say, okay, Jupiter affect these areas. Another source will say Jupiter affect some other areas, and I cannot find any alignment, okay, most of the time. So I decided to use this article because this is a published article. The rest are articles from the internet, and I do not quite trust. I don't know whether I can trust those sources. So I decided to pick this, all right? This is actually published in the International Journal of Ayurveda and Pharma Research. You can download and read the article by yourself, okay, on your own for more information. So the human being and the universal planetary system, we are actually communicating all the time, okay? And we influence and affect one another. So whatever that happens here, all the planets are actually represented in the universe of the human body, okay? Now, how are they represented? So don't have to memorize this. You just take a screenshot of this. You can refer later on, or best go and read the articles because there will be more explanation within the article. Okay, so over here, they will talk about the sun. So you read across, yeah? So the sun, okay, if you're affected by the solar radiation and the field of the sun, okay, it affects your head, your cardiovascular, your heart, okay, your fat distribution, your eye, and your heart chakra. So you read across like this. So if you're affected by the moon, okay, so the moon, that means it's a monthly cycle. So these are the body parts. So you read across. You may not have all the symptoms. So it depends on which part of the body is weakest, okay, or weak in terms of the field. So that is the part that will be experiencing more temporary disturbance during a certain cycle of the moon. Yeah, okay. So you can refer to this. Now, how do you know when Mars or Mercury or Jupiter or Venus or Saturn is affecting you? So this you will have to check with the astrology chart, okay? It's too complex, so I'm not going in that direction. I do follow and read certain astrologists who are good at explaining, so I follow certain individuals, certain astrologists to actually find out what is happening every month. Yeah. So they will explain and they will talk. Okay, this month is which planet? That month is what? Okay, then they will have to look at your birth chart, and then based on what planets, with the day you're born, what planets is there and what planets is missing, each of us will be affected differently. So sometimes the planet actually help you in your life and in your health. Some planets actually is causing disturbance and weakens you. Okay, so it's a very complex system over here. All right. Yeah. So my concern is if you feel that certain parts of your body are not feeling well and it's temporary, okay, you will find that, okay, some of the old issues may appear for a few days and then after that it disappear, okay, or don't get too worried, too concerned straight away. It might just be a temporary disturbance, okay? Yeah. All right, so you can screenshot the chart and refer to it, all right? So Rahu, Ketu, these two are not actual planets, so not to worry about all this, okay? So just know, the main thing is just know that our body, our organs can actually be affected by the planets. So you don't have to go very, very complicated, okay? You just have to do your regular all-Healy scan analysis, okay? See if bioenergetic defense appear, then you do the secondary scan and see whether planets appear in the secondary 5 and see whether the percentage is high or low. If the percentage is low, you can ignore it. But if the percentage is 58% or higher, don't ignore it. Okay, so you can actually go to this particular program and use these planets here to nullify or to harmonize your field so that you can restore your field again. All right, so we are affected by the planets because of the gravitational pull, because of the electromagnetic field that is generated by planets, especially the huge planets. And some planets actually radiate, okay? They have harmful radiation or very strong radiation, especially the sun, that can actually disturb or affect us. All right, so the main thing is there is no need to go into astrology. To me, I find it very, very easy to just use the Healy resonance analysis to tell me what's going on. Okay, so only when it shows in my chart, okay, in my analysis, if I'm curious, I would then go and refer and just to, eavesdrop and see which is the planet that is, causing the disturbance to me. All right, so it can be full moon. So if something happens, you look at the lunar calendar. So on the 1st and on the 15th of the lunar calendar, when you have the full moon, plus minus 3 days, okay, if your sleep is disturbed, if your mood, you have a lot of emotions, your mood go crazy, or some pain from the past reappear again, it might just be the moon, okay? Or when big planets rotate backwards, so that's where they can cause the disturbance to us, all right? Okay, now, even then, those disturbances are not as bad as the next two, okay? So we come to the ugly ones, which is man-made ones. Okay, these are actually caused by human because of all these devices. So we have not just one device, we have multiple devices. We have several mobile phones, we have iPads, we have laptops, we have computers. Okay, so we have a lot of all this affecting us, okay? And we like the speed, okay? So the technology have evolved to give us faster and faster and faster speed. So now we are at 4G, 5G. And if I ask you to go back to 3G, do you want to? You don't want. But we have know that the speed, the internet speed, actually comes with a very high price tag on our health, okay? Yeah. Now, how are we affected? The organs in the body that are electrical in nature, for example, the brain, the heart, okay? And then we have the nerves, and then in our blood, we have the ions, charged ions. For example, the sodium is positively charged, calcium is positively charged, chloride is negatively charged. So these charges, as they flow in the blood, they actually generate electricity, they generate field. F-I-E-L-D. Okay, so anything that has fields will be affected by EMF. Okay, don't worry about all the small prints. Basically, every part of your body eventually will be affected by electromagnetic fields that are coming from artificial sources. Devices like this, our electronic devices, satellites, okay, yeah. So it's known to most people that there are harmful consequences of all these devices. Okay, so what we can do to reduce the impact on our field is to use this electrosensitivity in the bioenergetic disturbance. Okay, so I equate this to earthing or grounding. Okay, so what happens is, especially for those who live in the city, we don't access the earth very frequently. So this is a good way for us to actually do our earthing, okay, using running the program. Okay, just use it once a week and all that to do our earthing. Yeah. Now, there are individuals who will tell me that, you know, I turn off, okay? I take care of myself. I turn off the Wi-Fi router every night, okay? So they ask me, okay, does this help if I do this? Okay, so what do you think? How many of you actually have this practice? Okay, you can actually put a 111 on the chat if you have this practice of turning off the Wi-Fi router at night. Ah, that's good. Some of you do that. Okay, so the question was thrown at me. Okay, do you think turning off the Wi-Fi router at night, every night, okay, before you sleep, will help your sleep or is good for you? Okay, so that's good. Some of you are actually doing that. Very, very good. Okay, that's a good practice. But I tell this person, whoever tell me that they turn off their Wi-Fi at night, I will tell them, after you have turned off your Wi-Fi router, go to the Wi-Fi here, click on it, and look at the list of Wi-Fi network that are active. Okay, now look at this. Donut, Singtel 4NAE, look at this one, 3 bars full. Okay, meaning that even if you turn off your Wi-Fi router at night, you still receive very, very strong signals from your home, from your neighbors. You see? Yeah, so you are still affected. You're still affected by the Wi-Fi from your neighbors. So my reply would be, you would have to educate and convince your entire neighborhood to turn off their Wi-Fi router every night, okay? If you want to be safe from all these disturbances, okay? Yeah, but I think there's an easier method, okay? Is it easier to convince the entire neighborhood to turn off their Wi-Fi? Or what I do is I can use the energy cycle, or I can use the bioenergetic defense, electrosensitivity, or here harmonization 5G, cell phone energy balance. Okay, so it is easier for me. I find that it is easier to protect myself using electrosensitivity or these two programs, okay, than to convince the whole village to turn off their Wi-Fi. Okay, so that is the protection, and that is the tool that is available for us. So what we can do is to neutralize, okay, some of this impact regularly, all right, so as to clean ourselves from all the negative influences from the EMF. Okay, now the last one that we are going to talk about is this, a very, very ugly environmental agent, okay, that is affecting us, but sadly, not many people know about this. You may have seen Geopathic in the bioenergetic defense, okay, but how many of you have used it at least once? Okay, can you put 222 if you have used it at least once? Okay, very good, Kat. Good, good, good. Wow, that's good. Okay. Now, I came to know about this through a very bad experience after having moved to my house and living for 1 year, and I find that my health just went on decline. Okay. And but I also thank my house, my body, that through this experience, I find out about this. Yeah. Okay, this is called geopathic stress. Okay, now when you move around, how do you know that that particular place has very strong geopathic stress? Okay, if you look at trees and the tree trunk is twisted, okay, they grow and then their tree trunk is twisted, or they have very, very weird, instead of growing upright, okay, the trunk is bent, weird shapes and all that, okay. So what happened is they are actually trying to avoid, okay, certain negativity, and therefore they grow in this way. Now, if you have seen trees with tumors, big or small, these are all signs that they are growing at a spot where I would call a hot spot, okay, of geopathic stress. Okay. Now, if this has happened in your house, that means tiles popping out, okay, or roads that crack. It is not a straight crack, but it is a wriggly crack like this. These are all signs of geopathic stress, okay? Water pipes that leak, that burst and leak, okay? So those are also possibly signs of geopathic stress, okay? So some of these are not workmanship is not the workmanship problem. It's because of the vibration coming from the earth that is causing things to actually pop like this. Okay. Now, if your house have ants for unknown reasons, even if you remove all the sources that the ants were like sugar and all that, even if you clean and all that, you'll find that the ants build their nests in a certain part of your house, or a wasp, W-A-S-P, build a nest. These are spots where the certain insects like the geopathic stress spot. So they are there. So these are actually signs, okay? Or if you have water leakage problems, okay? Yeah, so these are signs of geopathic stress, okay? Now, how many of you, when you buy a property, do you check what is underneath? Okay, when you invest in a property or a home, we always look at the location. So we look at whether it is near amenities. Okay, is it near the train station, bus station? Is it near to a mall for your shopping? Is it near to the playground? Is it near to the park? So it is near to the school. So we look out for all these amenities, okay, conveniences that you want before you invest in that property. Okay. Now, what is happening here is underneath the property that you purchase, there could be deposits. It can be mineral deposits. It could be water, okay, that is flowing underneath. There could be toxic substances that are underneath that are emitting radiations, okay? There could be minerals or rocks, okay, fault lines that are sitting deep down below your home, okay? So they can be any of these: geological fault lines, minerals, water causes, ley lines, or even tunnels, dam, sewers, pipes, okay? Mines below the ground that we can't see. And this actually will affect us, okay? Now, naturally what happens is, coming from the ground, from the earth, it actually emits a lot of all these frequencies and vibrations, okay? They are natural, but as they pass through all those things that we mentioned underground, water pipes, electrical cables, okay, all the minerals and all that, as they come out, they go through disturbances, okay, by all these things. Yeah. So no matter where you are, whichever country that you are in, okay, this energy, the geo energies coming from the ground is there, okay? So they are universal. They can come out through open grounds. If there is a dwelling, a house, or a tower, okay, condominiums, huge buildings sitting on top, it does not matter. It just go right through all these structures, okay, and out again, okay? Yeah. So now, two of the best known bioenergetic grids that comes from the ground is this, the Curry grid and the Hartmann grid, okay? Yeah, so they rise vertically and they are not stopped by anything. Okay, so let's go through the first one, which is the Hartmann grid. Hartmann grid is actually discovered by Dr. Ernst Hartmann. So he discovered and found that there are this kind of very structured grids that comes out from the earth. Okay, yeah. So they are north-south facing. So the lines is parallel to north-south and east-west. So there are two. Okay, so the grid lines here are separated probably 8 feet. So every 8 feet you have this line. Then the next 8 feet will be here. The next 8 feet will be there. All right, then vertically, they will also be 8 feet apart. Yeah, so they are very regular like this. So these are actually magnetic grids, and there are charges, positive, negative charges. So they are alternating, one positive, negative, like this. So you can actually use the copper rods called the dowser. So they use the dowser to actually measure all these grids. Okay. Yeah. So so what happened is they found that at the intersection of the grid, if two positive or two negative intersect, for example, this line here is a negative, this line here is a negative. So when they intersect here, it is called a double negative. Okay, so here, this is a negative, this is a negative. So this is a double negative node. Node is the intersection point. So if this is positive, and then this line here is positive, this is also a node, a double positive node. So what they find that, okay, if you are spending a lot of time near or on these nodes over a long time, our biofield will be affected, our health will be affected, and they found that the common health issues that are related could be rheumatism, inflammation, and those who spend a lot of time on double negative of the Hartmann grid will have nerve problem. Okay, the nervous system will be affected. Okay, now in between the white space that you see over here, these are neutral zone, safe zone. Okay, so this is a good safe place, all these blank spaces here, but here is not. Okay, yeah, so later I'll tell you how to apply. So we just understand it first. Now, the other one will be the red lines. Okay, this is known as the Curry grid, discovered by Dr. Manfred Curry. So they are called the Curry lines or the Curry grid, and they run diagonal. Okay, in the northeast to northwest to southeast or northeast to southwest direction diagonally. Okay, they are electrical in nature. So they also alternately positive and negative. And this one is quite damaging. They find that the double positive, okay, this one here, suppose this line is positive, this line here is positive, so they will intersect here. This is called a double positive node. And over 90%, and in fact, in Germany, when they first studied the cancer patients, they wrote in the report, in the article, that there wasn't any cancer cases that they found that is not related to geopathic stress. Okay, so the double negative, which is the star here, all right? So if you spend a lot of time on this spot here, it causes inflammation. Okay, so the safe space will be the empty space. All right, those are the neutral or the safe zone. Okay, if you want to read and understand more and easy to understand, I found that this article, okay, you can go and search for the article. This particular article is well written, comprehensive, and very easy for a layperson to understand. Okay, so you can go and read this. So you can take a screenshot and then go and type and search for this particular article. Okay, now what they found is the impact on where you sleep. Now, what has it got to do with sleep? Because if you think about it, we move around a lot. The only time that we don't move is when we sleep. So when we lie down there for 6 to 8 hours every day, same spot, same place, over time, okay, we can be quite severely affected by geopathic stress, okay, because of the duration. All other places, we move around, even in the office, even at the desk, you sit down there and then you move around, okay? You don't sit unless you sit there all the time, okay? So that's why they always look at where the person sleep, okay? Because that is the place where we spend the most amount of our time staying still, okay? So if you happen to sleep at the double positive or double negative intersection. Okay, so one of these could be the Curry positive, or it could be the Hartman and all that. Okay, so they find that if this node happens to be near the head or on the head, it can end up in tumor. So they did a lot of case studies of people with all kinds of health issues. They go to their bed and then they measure the geopathic stress lines in that particular area to see whether or not there is any correlation between their condition and geopathic stress. Okay, and this is what they found. Okay, these are all based on case studies that all the grid lines are actually under the bed. Okay, so it happens to move upwards, okay, and then it affects different parts of your body. Okay, so this person here, where the grid intersect here, actually had cervical cancer. So this is a woman. Then here, tumor in the right lung. So the right side of the body is here. So this person here has prostate cancer, and this person has breast cancer on the right. Okay, I'm showing you real cases, actual cases. So these are the floor plan of one of my clients' house. I didn't draw the grid lines, okay? I do not know how to draw the grid lines, but I know of somebody who draw all this, map out all the grid lines, okay? So let's focus only on the bed. No need to look at all the others, all right? So this is the bedroom, and this is the bed. The client is sleeping here, this part here, okay? Yeah, so they indicated the hotspot. This is where your double positive, double negatives is located. The parts that are highlighted are the hotspots in the house, okay? And this is the bedroom, and you look at this area. The patient is sleeping here, okay? And what is the presenting symptoms of the client when he came to look for me? He already had nose cancer relapse 4 times. I'm not kidding. Scary. 4 times. Each time he went through chemo and radiotherapy, and it has happened 4 times. So it was the 4th time when he came to see me. And when I heard that he has relapsed 4 times, I told him immediately to have his house checked for geopathic stress. Okay, now this is what he told me. He said that before he did the renovation for the house, he actually got the feng shui, and he said that it's the top-notch geomancer who will come to his house, did all the calculations and all the measurements in terms of feng shui, and they designed the house according to the advice of the feng shui. He's a very, very rich man, okay? And he's living in a penthouse. And he said that the feng shui master, geomancer, did not detect any of these things and said nothing about these things, okay? Yeah. So I said, no harm to do the analysis, and then you can then make your decision from there whether or not you are affected by geopathic stress. And this was the outcome, and you can see why this person is actually having nose cancer. Like I said earlier, they can do the treatment, chemo, radio. It's not that it does not work, all right? So after everything, all the cancer cells are gone, but night after night, he will come back and he will sleep on the same spot again. And that's why he always keep getting the same issue again and again, again and again. Okay, now after looking at this map, he still doesn't believe. Okay, so he does not believe me. And he cannot believe in a small device. Okay or not? Because it looked too cheap, too plasticky to do anything to help him. Okay, yeah. So of course I wish him the best. Okay, so he decided to walk away and not heed the advice and the evidence from the charts. Okay, so there will be people like that. Now, how is it that I know so much about geopathy is my own story. Okay, so this is the chart of my home. So after moving into this home, after a year, I had hyperthyroidism. And then after that, what happens is, for no apparent reason, my health just went south, okay? And it's one thing after another. So I'm constantly in pain and discomfort, all right? Now, this is the bedroom where I stay. Now, what I notice is every morning when I wake up, my right ankle will be very stiff. But as I walk around throughout the day, it will be fine. And then the next morning, my ankle will be stiff again. Okay. And I had pain on the right side of my body. It just moves about. Okay. Sometimes it may be here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, and all that. So it can be in the center, it can be the side, but it's always on the right side of the body. Okay. So I am very fortunate, very lucky. By chance, coincidence, I attended a talk that talked about geopathy. Okay. And the speaker presented the evidence of a house that has what kind of symptoms. And then I went tick, 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 tick. Okay. So I knew that, okay, so I'm exposed to geopathic stress. And immediately after that, I told the speaker to analyze my house. So I sent my floor plan, and he just very quickly draw with his hand, just draw all the grid. And this is where my bed was. Okay, this square over here is where my bed was, and my legs happens to be around here. Okay, so that is the reason why I have the ankle problem. So when he came to the house to do the actual mapping, there was a geopathic stress line, okay, that runs parallel to my right side. So if I sleep here, this will be my right side of my body. So I'm actually affected on the entire right side, okay? Then you look at the main bedroom here. It's even worse than my bedroom, okay? Now, what happens to those who stay inside this room is they coughed all year round, no matter what kind of treatment they get for see the doctor and all that, they will cough and cough and cough and cough and cough. Now, interestingly, this is where the fan was actually installed. You know, a new fan that you can install within 2 weeks is spoiled, okay, when it's near the hotspot, okay? Then this part here, against this wall here, is where the aircon was installed. And it's very amazing that this aircon will require maintenance very, very regularly. Okay, a lot of water leakage issue and all that. Okay, so around here, so this is the main bedroom and then the kitchen. So if you look at the kitchen over here, there is one spot over here. All right, this part here, this spot here was where the ceiling actually leaked water. Okay, if you remember the earlier pictures that I show you, one of it shows the ceiling. That was the state of the ceiling in this particular spot over here. All right. And then there was another leakage in the bathroom. If you look at here, this is the bathroom over here. There is another hotspot here. So there was a leakage here and there was a leakage here. Then I put the dryer around here and the dryer also is cranky. All right. So sometimes it works, sometimes it refuses to work. Yeah. So I have a cranky dryer over here. All right. So this kind of geopathic stress spot, or I call it the hot spot, anything, whether it's human being or equipment that is placed around there, they will spoil quite easily. Okay, so health issues will start to form. Okay, so I asked, do I have to move house? He said that these things are universal. No matter where you go to, you will have all these things. Okay, it's whether it is very strong or it is not strong. So whether your bed is positioned in a safe zone, so you can actually try to reposition all that to make it safer, or you have to harmonize the feel around the house to bring down the level of harm or damage to the body. Okay, so we did that. So in those days, there is no Healy or Healy yet. Okay, so I have to use other methods to bring down the extent of the harm. Okay, so now we are very lucky because we have this program here, Geopathic. All right, so geopathic stress refers to the earth vibration that as they come out from the ground, from the earth, they are actually distorted, weakened by the EMF that is emitted from the ground or from all the electrical cables, tunnels, and all those that are underground, okay, by man-made or through all the natural things. Okay, so what can be classified as symptoms due to geopathic stress? Now, if there are health issues that a person encounter over and over and over, no matter what medication, what treatment you use, you get well, and then after that you will come back again, you get well, and then you can come back again, you change another treatment, you got well, and then you come back again. That means it's chronic throughout your whole life. Okay, you may actually be exposed to geopathic stress. All right, it could be sleep, it could be skin problems, it could be infertility, autoimmune cancer, heart condition, brain issues, brain tumors, emotional issues, chronic depression for no apparent reason. That means when you're born, there's nothing wrong with your brain and all that, but it's just that the person is chronically depressed or very, very bad relationships for no reason, okay? In the house, you are just fighting, and then it leads to divorce, okay? Now, there are families, I've seen families, they told me that the father died of cancer, the mother had cancer, and the person, my client, is a breast cancer survivor, and another cousin living in her house has chronic depression. So if there are multiple individuals in the house that has this kind of severe condition or chronic condition, take note, okay? You might actually be a victim of geopathic stress. Okay. Yeah, I can go on and on with a few other stories, okay, but we don't have time. Yeah. So, okay. So what do we have? If you have energy cycle, if you have bioenergetic defense, use the geopathy. So what you can do is you scan geopathic bioenergetic defense before you sleep. Just do that one, analyze, there will be 5 that comes out, select 9 hours and let it run throughout the night while you're sleeping so that you are protected. Okay, that's using the blue app. Now, if you have energy cycle, you use this earth ray harmony. Earth ray harmony, you can also do the analysis of the earth cycle, energy cycle, and then select 9 hours and let it run throughout the night while you are sleeping so that your space is protected throughout the night. Okay, so you can see that it is very, very, very important to live in a healthy environment. It's not just about taking care of the physical body. We have to eliminate environmental stress factors that could actually be making us sick as well. And we are very lucky. Okay, we are very fortunate now. We have the Healy and the McHealy with the Earth spherics programs, and then we have the geopathy, we have the planets, and then we have the earth ray, 5G, cell phone, energy balance, and all that to protect us. Okay, so please use them. Okay, so I really do hope that as you attend all these sessions here, okay, that you will love Healy and McHealy more and more and more and more. Okay, yeah, so can you type 33333? Okay, if you find yourself, loving this device. Okay, we are just so fortunate to have that, yeah. All right. So so take care of yourself with Healy and McHealy. This pair, they are my best friends, and I cannot live without them now. All right. Okay. So my next session with you will be May 15. I will be talking about the bioenergetic field. Okay, so how does Healy help to actually harmonize our field? What does it mean to harmonize our field? And then take note that next Thursday is May the 1st. It is a public holiday. It's Labor Day. So there will be no Zoom session. Okay, no session on May the 1st. So the next one, you will see Petra again. It will be on May the 8th. All right, so we'll see you again on May the 8th. Okay, so thank you. Let's see whether there are any questions here. Let's see. Okay. Then.
Hi, I have a question.
Oh, okay. Hi, Rajesh. Yes, you can go ahead while I look through the questions. Yes.
Thank you. So, so you're recommending that an analysis should be done before we use the Mag Healy, right? So it's important that we identify the problem first and then we run the Mag Healy depending on the requirements, correct?
This is for Healy. For
Okay.
Healy, under the blue app, there
Okay.
is a resonance analysis. Okay.
Okay.
So you do the all Healy. Okay, and see whether they will give you the top 5, correct or not? You see
Yes.
whether bioenergetic defense appear. For those who have done this regularly, okay, try to think back whether you constantly or frequently see bioenergetic defense appearing in your top 5. Okay, so if it constantly appear, then you do the secondary analysis to see whether it's geopathy or is it the planets or is it the electrosensitivity that appear on top. Then you will know which are your negative stress factors. Okay. Now I've done analysis for Indonesians. And it's very frequently that I find the bioenergetic defense geopathy appear for Indonesians who are living in Indonesia. So my hypothesis is that it could be the volcanic region. Okay, so underneath there is a lot of negative radiations coming from below. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And another important question is now, suppose if someone is buying a house, right? If you're buying a house, can we do a scan first and then out of, let's say if there are 5 homes available for sale, right? Out of 5, I need to choose one. How
Yes.
can I decide which one to buy and how can I
Yeah.
analyze those homes?
Yes. In your respective local countries, there should be, okay, there should be environmental, they call it environmental individuals, okay? They do all these scans, okay? So
Okay.
you find somebody in local, you look for geopathic stress or environmental stress analyst or something like this, okay? So let's say you narrow down to 5 property, you get the floor plan of the 5 property and then let them do the analysis, okay, and see which house is actually the best, okay, for you to stay in. Yeah, because when you stay in this kind of property, whether it's your business, if your business happens to be on this kind of property, the business will fail. Okay, you will find that you can do a lot of marketing, but how come your clients are not coming? Or even if your clients come, they are not staying. Okay, sometimes it's because of this. Okay, so within the house, not only is unhealthy, your finances, your work, your career, your marriage will all be affected by this energy.
Okay.
Okay.
And one last thing which I would like to know, if somebody is already living in a house which has geopathy stress, can the Healy negate the effects? Can the Healy repair the geopathic stress? What are the chances? What is the scope, and how do we do it?
Okay. You, like what I said, at least you can do the 9 hours every night before you sleep. Go and do the analysis. Okay. If the geopathy does not appear, you can analyze again until the geopathy appear. Then you can run 9 hours. At least that will protect your own space. Okay. If you want something more permanent, you have to go to this kind of environmental analysts. Okay, they would have their own tools and gadget to bring down or to harmonize the environment to make it safer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so those are more permanent. So I actually, that was before I have Healy and McHealy. So I suffered for many months pain. Okay, I have scanned every part of my body. I scan my brain, I scan my stomach, I scan my spleen, my liver, my reproductive system, because the pain just move around, okay, different parts. But thankfully, the doctor cannot find out what's wrong with me. Finally, you know what the doctor wrote in the report? Hypochondriac pain. Hypochondriac pain, imaginary. Yeah. So I'm lucky that it has not affected my body to a bad extent. I'm also lucky to come across a geopathic environmental analyst. I'm lucky to, even before there is Healy, I installed the tools immediately. Within 2 weeks, all my pain was gone.
That's
Yeah,
very encouraging. Thank you.
that's how I know about this. Okay, so when I see geopathy in Healy, I was so happy.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. So what's this? If you show a presentation, it doesn't see it. Percentage is around 50. If the percentage, okay, if you do the secondary analysis, percentage around 50 is normal because we can't run away from geopathy. Okay, if it's around 50%, 40% is actually safe. It doesn't harm us. But when the percentage went up to 58% or 60% or higher, that is when it is causing harm. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see. Okay, how to check this type of breeds, thermometer. All right, so you can, India, if you're living in India, they actually believe all this. There are many geopathic analysts. Okay, you just go to Google and you search for them. Yeah. What kind of qualification is necessary to be able to identify the nodes that creates? Okay. First, get in touch with somebody who is currently practicing. Okay, I attended a course to try to do the mapping, draw the lines. It's not difficult. It takes practice to actually just do it. Okay, it's just a piece of paper in front of you. You just identify the direction, where's the north and the south. Then they use an equipment, okay, to just go on the paper. Okay, so this is the paper, right? So if this is the equipment, right? So they just go through the entire floor plan. So the equipment will actually show when it comes to a line. So then they will draw the line there. Then they will move the thing again down. And then over here, if the equipment respond, then they draw another line there. Okay, so they actually draw the lines on paper. Yeah, so they don't actually have to physically come to your house. So only when they assess that the geopathic readings, okay, is high and harmful, okay, that they would then suggest to come on site to actually see where are the exact hotspots. Okay, can we analyze defense daily? Yes, I actually use defense daily. Yeah, so I use it when I am out of the house. I always have my own protection. So defense is defense and aura. These are the two programs I use every single day. Okay, then, okay. 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 Mhm. Can we use the blue app for a room? Yes, there is building. Okay, so under the, when you click on the client, so you have building, so you can actually put in your home address and then you can record the vibration of the, your space and then you run it for your entire house. Thanks, Minas. Oh, Claire, you love your Healy. That's good. Yeah. So therefore, share your experience with Healy with your family and friends. Okay. Yeah. This Marcus Shoemaker is bringing so much blessing to the whole world. Okay. Thank you, Sonia. Okay. A session in Chinese. My Chinese is not that good, so that's why I can't do it. Okay, but I'm trying to think of how to use AI to actually translate the English to Chinese so that the Chinese counterpart can actually listen to it or to actually do it to other languages. If you know how to do it, you can let me know. Okay, how much percentage we have to keep while using Earth? Okay, so if you're running the Healy, usually about 50. I normally just use about 50. So you have to feel when you put on your navel, on your belly, okay, can you feel the energy? Can you feel the feel or not? Okay, so some people are very sensitive. They put 10% or even 20%. They can feel that the energy is moving very fast. For me, it's 50%. Anything that's above 50%, I feel like it's an F1 racetrack, you know, I cannot sleep. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so if you are keen in the books, you can send a message to me. So you can email to me. Okay. This is not with respect to herpes. Herpes zoster. Herpes is a viral. Okay, herpes is actually a viral thing, and is related to actually chicken pox, pretty chicken pox. And when we have chicken pox, so the residue of these viruses are still present in the body. And when the immune system actually drop, okay, or becomes suppressed under stress, the residue viruses of chickenpox will attack again the nerves and therefore leads to shingles or herpes zoster. So if it's virus, we can't take antibiotics and all that. So virus, we have to depend on the body defense system. So we're going to use all those that are related to the defense or immune. Okay, so it's under bioenergetic harmony. There's a defense. You can use gold cycle pure, okay, to clean away all these things. Okay, bioenergetic harmony, there is impurity. Deep cycle, there is clean all. So when you use all this, it helps to actually eliminate some of these viruses that are in the body, so you can clean up the body. And sometimes it's the toxins produced by this viruses that is hurting, that the body is reacting to. Okay, so that's why cleaning it up, because of attacking the nerves. So look at all the programs that has to do with nerves. Pure calm under deep cycle. Then you have balanced nerves. Okay, so look across. I think meridian also there is a nerve. So look across the nerve related programs, or Healy also you have the nerve. So yeah, so you can use that. That is to actually protect your nervous system. Okay, so that is for shingles. Okay, the recording, yeah, I will post the recording in my YouTube. If not, you have to wait for the next month in order to get it, which is very soon, probably in a week's time. Okay. Do we scan our house or ourselves? I would say scan myself, okay? Because the house will definitely have geopathy, okay? But you may not be sleeping directly on top of that spot, you see. So if you scan your house, it's not as accurate as scanning yourself, okay? Because when you scan yourself, then only you will know what is the actual impact of the geopathic stress on your body. So I will use my individual profile to do the scanning, okay? Now, if you scan yourself, or if different individuals in the family seems to have a lot of chronic issues like chronic headache, skin issues, so you think that there are more than one individuals in the house affected by geopathic stress, and you have limited number of devices to go around, then you can create the house. Okay, you can create the client for the building, which is your house, to actually protect your entire space for all the occupants, including your pets, your plants, and all that within the house. Okay. All right, so Sneha, yeah, so Sneha mentioned that there are certain tools. Okay, so if you happen to know anyone who can measure and harmonize the geopathic stress, you can put in the chat here so that the others living in your country can locate them. Michelle Lee asks, how often to run the Healy or McHealy planet spheric geopathy programs if we find that there are such issues? So you can run them when you do the all Healy, when it appear, and then after that you do the secondary and it appear again. Then those are the times you need to actually harmonize your field. Okay, yeah. So if it didn't appear, that means you're fine. Okay, but if you want to make it into a regular practice, you can do that once a week. Even if it does not appear, then you can just run it. Yeah. How much frequency used for spleen pancreas, MVV? I don't quite understand this question here. How much frequency? Okay. What program are you referring to for spleen pancreas? Maybe you can clarify. How often to run? Oh, okay. So it's the same questions as Michelle Lee. Okay. So as and when it appears, if you find that you are not severely affected, but you know that every now and then it will appear, then you only run when it appears. Okay. But if you are experiencing the effects, then you can actually do it every night. So you can actually do it every night for 2 weeks and feel the difference. Okay. Is direction of sleep important? Yes, direction of sleep is important. I have listened to one of Sadhguru's talk, and he mentioned that the head should not be facing the magnetic north of the earth if you are on the northern hemisphere. If you are on the southern hemisphere, Australia, New Zealand, and all that, your head should not be facing, pointing towards the magnetic south. Okay, so if you're on the northern hemisphere, don't point to the magnetic north. If you're on the southern hemisphere, your head should not point to the magnetic south. Okay, so best is your head is pointing in the east-west direction. Okay, the reason that he gave is the magnetic pull and the body having iron. Okay, so it can actually cause a stroke while you're sleeping. How much percentage? Yeah, so the strength of the percentage, you will have to try it, okay, 20%. Sometimes you can just use the default. Okay, if you find that you don't experience a lot of change, you can actually increase it by 10%, all right, then see what happens, yeah? Yeah. How much percentage? Earth, yeah, so you have to experience it to know, okay? If you're using the Healy, and you're using earth when you put it on the body, different people, different thing. And then it also depends on how much you're lacking because of your location where you are staying and your surrounding, what is there that actually cut off or disturb the resonance, the Schumann resonances. So therefore, each of us are actually affected to different extent. Okay, so experiment, just play with it. If you use the default and you find that you don't feel much changes, then you increase it a bit and then see how, okay, until you find your best sweet percentage. Okay, can I take a picture of the house, upload it to Healy and scan it? I have not tried that because for the picture is only used for aura. So even if you put your picture there and do resonance analysis, it does not scan the picture. Yeah, it actually take the reference from the vibration that you record. Okay, so therefore I would say a no. Okay, for Jen, use the Healy to scan the house. Okay, I would say a no to that. Okay, unless you are using the house profile, okay, you can try that. I've not tried that. You use the house profile and then you do the all Healy or the bioenergetic defense to analyze the whole house. Okay, you can do that. If all Healy analysis is all below 50%, what do you do? Now, the good range is between 40 to 57. Okay, if you are in that range for all Healy analysis, that means you just need to maintain it. Okay, you are good to go. Now, when it goes below 40% or above 57%, above 57%, it means it's acute, means that there are certain symptoms starting to show depending on what is above that 57%. Now, when it goes too low, it's also no good. especially for bioenergetic harmony, the organs, okay? If it goes too low, it means that, okay, it's like the phone, okay? So when the phone battery is 10%, 20%, 30%, but the phone is fine, okay? The organ is fine. The organ is fine, nothing wrong with that, just that the energy there is low. So that means it's either aging or the energy supply to these organs is low, but at the moment it is healthy. But the moment it swing to 57 or 58% and above, that means the organ is not in a good state anymore. Okay, so symptoms are starting to show that it is not functioning properly. Okay. How to analyze the space? How to analyze the space as in using bioenergetic defense? Stahayam yoga. Okay. Create a profile for building, put in all the information related to the building, when it's constructed, the GPS position, all that. Then record the vibration of the space, meaning that you put the device in the middle of a particular room, let's say your living room or your bedroom, okay, to let it record the vibration. Then after that, you will use the bioenergetic defense, analyze it, and then run it, okay, for the space. Yeah, you can also use Healy energy clearing. Yeah, Healy energy clearing to just let it run and clear the whole space of anything. So the energy clearing is very, very good. Okay, very useful and is generic. You don't have to worry. You can just let it run there for the whole day, you know. Vitality, Shalinda. So it's the same. All those percentages one is actually your personal preference. Okay. Mole, high blood pressure, it can be due to geopathic stress. If you cannot find out what is the thing that is causing the blood pressure, if the medication is not helping, okay, what you can do is change a different place to sleep. Okay, don't always sleep in the same room and same spot. Okay, try another room and you sleep there for 2 weeks and then see whether there are changes to your body. Yeah, so if you find that you sleep better somewhere else, it might be geopathic stress in where you're sleeping. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if the same spot is giving you issue, okay, there is one case when the person came to me for actually a knee problem. Okay, the knee was so bad, so painful, she could hardly walk. And she was telling me this story that, okay, in the past, what gave her problem was the heart problem, okay? So the heart was giving her a lot of problem. She went to check, then she went for scan and everything. They cannot find what is wrong with her heart, okay? Then she said, suddenly, the heart problem disappeared on its own. The heart problem just disappeared on its own. But then after that, the knee started to have problems. So slowly, the knee starts to get stiff and pain, and then now she couldn't walk. So when she told me that story, I asked her one question. I said, did you change your sleeping position? And what's the answer? She said, yes. I turn around. So you see, the distance from your head to your heart and from your feet to the knee is actually the same distance. All right. So the geopathic hotspot was there. So when she turned around, the problem went to her knee, and then she said her heart just get well on its own. Okay. So don't change the position on the spot that you have been sleeping. Go somewhere else, other parts of the house to sleep. Okay, mole programs. For more programs, okay, let me think about that. Yeah, so there will be one other sessions where we will talk about all these microorganisms. So I will cover it there. So if geopathic only shows up in the blue once in a while, yeah. So that means it is not dangerously bad for you, okay, Rita, if it appear once in a while, okay? Only in times of, let's say, stress, or when it's coupled with the planetary movement, okay? So if there is planetary movement, the moon and the geopathic stress happening to you at a point in time, so maybe it will appear. Yeah, so it may not appear all the time. So certain times when you are very, very stressed, or when your own system is under a lot of stress, suppressed, and all that, so it may appear. So that means that there are times when you're weakened. But other than that, your body can actually withstand the stress, then it's fine. Okay, so the recording at my YouTube channel, okay, rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis could be if it has been chronic for a long, long time, if you stay in the same house for a long period of time, or if you just move somewhere and then you start to have all these issues. If the rheumatoid arthritis, if it's caused by geopathic stress, then yes, bioenergetic defense can help. Okay, but if it's caused by other reasons, okay, you may want to try the other programs. Okay, so for arthritis, do all the cleansing, the clean all the impurities, all that, clean everything from your system. Okay, then after that, liver. Okay, use all the liver kidney programs. Okay. Thanks, Minas. Okay. The YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I have two. One is Use Healy with Christi. Okay, this is for applications. Okay, all the different ways to use. Then the other one is Wikipedia. So you can just type in Wikipedia. That will be for resources. Okay, yeah. When I have the time, I will record program by program and then elaborate on the use of the programs. Okay, yeah. But now I have too many things to do. Okay, but I have that in mind. So that's why now I'm talking about topics. So eventually I will have individual programs so that you know what it's for and how to use it. Cataract operation. Eye harmony, eyesight. Yeah, okay. So after an operation, eye harmony, you can use head. Head is for the whole head. Actually liver programs, because when you have an eye problem, the source of the problem is at the liver. Okay, so you may want to also use the liver programs, meridian for the harmony. Yeah. Then how many minutes a day do you work on bioenergetic defense program? So if you're using the pink app, then you just use one time. Okay. If you're using the blue app at night, then it will be 9 hours so that you are protected throughout the night. Okay. Then Aileen. How can we run McHealy for 9 hours? You use the atmosphere program. Okay, under atmosphere program, if you want to run 9 hours, you have to put the McHealy on the charger. Okay, so then you just run it the whole night for atmosphere program, energy clearing, or sleep. Okay. We check energy through instruments. Yeah, you can use the dowser to check if you know how to. Can we use it remotely for cancer patients who have finished chemotherapy? Use, yes. Okay, the blue app you can use remotely for the blue app. Okay. Okay. Oh, Sanjeev was saying that when you sleep on the left side and legs on the north direction. Okay, yeah. So that depends on whether you are on the north and south, but you can actually go and read a bit more about that. Okay. Court case. If there is a court case, MVB. Coach, success coach. Okay, so put down what is your desired outcome and then do the vibration. Okay, thank you, Hemant. Chris, 40 to 57% is fine when we run the analysis. Yeah, okay, Chris. So, yeah, so if when you do the all Healy analysis or the secondary analysis, if it's between 40 to 57, it is okay. That means you just need to maintain. Yeah. Sound of silence is actually for the ear. Okay, hearing, tinnitus. So you can use the sound of silence. Okay, to check the grid. Yeah, there was a name just now that was given, so you can go there to get to check the grid in your house. A headache left side if persistent from long time use. Local stimulation goal. What else can be tried? Long distance for distance healing. For distance healing, if you have tried local stimulation, you can try the classic. Okay, you can try classic in the Healy, not the Healy. So in the blue app Healy, you have resonance analysis for Healy, and then the second one is the resonance analysis for Healy. You can use that to analyze for classic and for Mackin. And then you do a long distance for the person with a headache. Okay, because headache can also be for the meridians. So that's why you have to do the all Healy to see what is the top 5. So because sometimes you may think that the headache is the has to do with your brain. Sometimes it may not. It may be your meridian. Sometimes if bioenergetic defense appear, it is actually because of the geopathy. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there are many possible reasons. Can we use the blue app to check the grids? Not that I can think of. Okay, yeah, to check the grids, you have. I haven't tried. Let me think and see whether it's possible. Yeah, Garima, just like Healy, is it okay to keep Healy on charging when we are running the distance healing? Well, this is it can be done, meaning that you charge your Healy while you're using the blue app. It can be that way if you are using like 9 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours. Okay, but the caution is that if you do that, it may shorten the lifespan of the battery. So you have to be prepared for that. Okay, if that is what you are willing, then it's fine. Okay. Yeah. So all electrical devices, as Jeffrey has mentioned, okay, so usually for all electrical devices, you are not encouraged. You should prevent overcharging. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fire safety and all that. So those are legitimate concern. Yeah. So, okay. Dark eye circle, eye puffiness, dark spots, skin, and all that. So when you have all this, it is because of circulation. Okay, so one is the blood circulation, the capillary circulation around here, the lymphatic circulation. So you can use programs related to circulation. Okay. The other one is actually under sleep, there is a fine flow. The fine flow is actually referring to the capillary circulation. So you can try that. Okay. Then I is also related to the liver. So you can use all the liver related programs. Okay. Yeah. So dark spots on the skin. The dark spots, if they are very defined spots, it may actually be coinciding with the meridians. So it's actually related to the meridians. But if it's uneven skin tone, big patches and all that, it could be, you can use skin impurities to run those programs. Okay, karmic debts, Sonia. Through distance healing code of karmic debts can be healed and how long it need. Okay, when you see 1E6, all right, 1E6, that is referring to our karmic debts. How long? You look at the percentage, all right? So the percentage, if can be high, if you're using the success coach or the aura, it can be 90%. The percentage is the same, 40 to 57, that will be considered good. So if you are at 90%, you have to vibrate until it comes down to 50%. Okay, it's a lot of work to do. All right, so my aura reports is 90%. I have vibrated aura every day for 3 years now. It has dropped to 80+%. Sometimes I see 70+%. Sometimes I'm seeing 60+%. So it can come down, okay? But you have to be very consistently working at that, okay? Now, the other way is you may want to complement it with other ways. There are certain meditations, certain techniques that you can learn where they actually help you to release all these karmic or ancestors entanglements. Okay, yeah. So you can look for this. Okay. Sound of silence is more for hearing, hearing, ear problems, okay? Imbalance, you cannot balance. Tinnitus, hearing issues, yeah. Vani, which program, dark cycles? Okay, asked already. Okay. We are thirsty for your trainings. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. So let me know what you want to learn. Okay. So I will prepare. Yeah. So health is, I find that my journey in wellness, in health is so interesting. There are so many factors affecting health. So it's not just one or two things. And there are so many things. Yeah. So if you like very, very in-depth stuff, you will like my training. But if you don't like this kind of very in-depth things, you will find that, oh, you'll pull your hair. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Because once I want to learn something, I will go very, very deep to actually find out exactly what's going on. Yeah. So when I was affected by geopathic stress, I actually suffered for many months. Okay. In and out of hospitals, taking medication, then the pain would go away. Once I stopped the medication, the pain came back. So it was really a wild goose chase. You don't know what's wrong with your body. Something is wrong, but nobody can tell you what's wrong. Okay, so all the solutions was very temporary. So therefore, I am very grateful that the right teachers always come to me at the right time. Yeah, so now I am actually transferring all this knowledge to you so that you don't have to be so lost. Okay, how often do we need to analyze aura? I do it daily. Okay, it depends on your conviction. It depends on how much time you have. It can be weekly. It can be every 2 weeks. For me, I do it daily. I just check. Okay. I just check every day just to see which are the thing, because for me, my work is giving. Okay, when I see clients, I am actually giving. So the chakras is different every day. The level of blockages and the energy level changes from day to day. So I will check every day so that day in the morning, whichever chakra is weak, it will appear. So I will run for 9 hours if I'm outside or if I'm interacting with people, if I'm giving talks, training, or I'm meeting clients, because I will be giving. So when you give, I'm receiving at the same time. Okay, so I don't wait until my tank is empty and then I go and fill it up. So certain chakras, like today, crown is weak. So I know that I'm going to use my brain a lot today for talking and all that. So today my aura showed that my crown is low energy. So when I'm giving a talk, I'm running the aura report so that it's replenished. So as I talk, it's replenish. So I don't get drained by the end of the day. Okay, so that's how I use the aura as a constant supply to support chakras that are weak for that particular day. So that's the reason why I do every day. Okay, so does your chakra field change? Yes, it will change if you are raising it and all that. It may not raise so fast. Okay, it's progressive. So depending on what you want. Okay, depending on what you want. So this is what I want. I want the immediate replenishment. So therefore I use it. And then I use the bioenergetic defense. So when I'm interacting with people, even through Zoom like this, there is energy exchange. So I have 2 layers. One layer is bioenergetic defense, that is to prevent negative energy from weakening my field. Aura is to replenish my energy as I give. Okay, whether it's my throat chakra, my crown chakra, or whether it's from my heart chakra, I'm constantly replenishing. So I get 2. Okay, one is to prevent negative from entering. So that's the protective layer. And the other one is the receiving rate, the receiving energy. Okay. Oh, Basanti. Oh, okay. First time attending. Okay. If you want to understand more, you can go to my YouTube channel, which I've indicated earlier. Under Healypedia, I have short videos, and those short videos will tell you red app, blue app, every single module, Aura, Success Coach, Gem, Elixir, everything. Okay, they are short videos. Some are 20 minutes, some are 30 minutes, some are just 8 minutes. Okay, so all the videos are there. Okay, so you can just at your own leisure time, go and watch and then learn bit by bit and try to catch up. Okay, so if you can't understand everything that we talk about here, it's okay. You just keep coming back and just absorb and pick up as much as you can. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's all for all the questions that we have for today. Oh, admin. So you raise your hand. Do you want to ask any question?
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy for this session. I'm Reverend Godfrey Byamkama from Uganda, and I work with the Diocese of Chinchizi Anglican Church of Uganda. I'm greatly honored to be part of your training because I'm very thrilled in my heart and I'm moved because you are talking about life and life must be taken seriously when we are here on this earth. I would like to know, is there any opportunity that you can link with us in Uganda so that we can work together as the Dance of Chinchis, because we have health facilities, we have health centers, we have even a university that is beginning in this May. Is it possible that you can connect with us and we establish a partnership with you or any of the institutions in your country? Thank you so much. I'm greatly honored for you.
Okay. Okay, we can discuss further. Did you take note of my email? Okay, I'll send it to you again. Okay, so we can.
Yeah, you can send it. You can send your email or your contact.
Yeah, so I put it in the chat. Do you actually see it? Yeah.
Your WhatsApp and email.
Okay.
Let me copy
email.
it.
Yeah. So we can get in touch through email, and then tell me more. Okay. What do you have in mind? Then we see how we can progress from there. All right. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So the YouTube channel I've mentioned already. So it's, if you want those Wikipedia by. So this is the one for the resources. Okay. Yeah. Then Rita. Okay. Thank you, Rita. Talking at a normal speed. Okay, good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, the last one is, how do you combine aura and bioenergetic defense while working? So I have two devices. I have multiple devices. Okay, yeah. So I share the Healy with my clients, and there are certain times where the company give us incentives, free devices. Okay, so I do have several devices. So I have two devices that I run throughout the day. Okay, one is for aura and the other one is for bioenergetic defense. So that is running there. Okay, because I am busy with all kinds of activities, I can't be always going to the Red app. Okay, turn this on, turn that on, that one finish, you know. So there are just too many things to think. So the easiest method for me is this two. All right, the aura and the defense, I just let it run in the background. So the Red app I will use as and when I have pockets of free time, okay, throughout the day. And sometimes according to various needs that particular day, so I will just play around with it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Rupa, it's your first time here. Okay, so thank you so much for those who are here for the first time. I hope that you will keep coming back. If you find that this is good, informative, good for you, then you can share with your friends. Okay, share the links with your friends. So the video links will be sent to you through your emails if you want it fast. Okay. Yeah, okay. Admin, yeah, I got your information. Okay, so if you want it fast, you can go to the YouTube channel that I mentioned to you. So I will post it there so you can watch it from there if you don't want to wait for 1 month for the company's link. Okay. All right. Okay, so thank you all so much. Thank you for all your questions, because it is through your questions that everybody learns. Okay. Yeah. So admin, yes, you want to, I'm sorry to call you admin because I do not know your name. It's stated there as admin. You raised your hand again. So do you have anything to say? Did you raise your hand again?
I'm not raising. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I got your information. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I will get in touch with you. All right. Okay, how many programs in a day? Yeah, if you're using the coil, okay, it's unlimited, but you have to pace it, okay, with some spacing. drink water throughout for best effect and to prevent your body from becoming overheated. If you're using the hand electrodes, the wristband electrodes, about 3 hours. So it's usually about 1 hour long program, about 3 hours in total. Okay. Yeah. So with some gap in between, and hydrate. Make sure that you drink water before, during, after, to otherwise your body can be too hot. You may get sore throat. Yeah. Or if you overuse it, you may actually get headache. Okay. All right. So I'll see you again on May 8th when the Petra share with us. Shall aura and defense, shall we run simultaneously? For me, I do. Okay, I run these two simultaneously. The reason is one is protective and the other one is the constant supply to all my chakras. Okay, so yeah, so you have to see for you what suits you and why do you want to do what you want to do, right? Okay, all right. Bye-bye. Have a good Healy day every day. All right, thank you so much. Love you all.
Thank you so much.